call you Brisbane beauty. I say you're a common whore and a slut. They say you're good at hand jobs around the jail. Yeah, you know, that's what rumors actually get around about me in the media. Oh, this is my cell. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah, you know, these girls are crazy. I mean, Linda's always praying. Oh, well, because I didn't do it, you know, I thought it's going to be okay, right? And then, after I'd spent 2 weeks locked up in this cell, I thought, oh, this is big. You know, I'm not going home. And so I asked Linda, well, what's going to happen? And so she says to me, well, don't you know what it is? And I'm going, well, what? You know, what? And she says to me, it's death. It's a death sentence. And well, I'm going, well, what? I mean, what's gonna... In 2004, 28-year-old Chappelle Corby was arrested for transporting over 9 pounds of marijuana from Brisbane, Australia, to Bali, Indonesia. In her first 2 years of imprisonment, she taught beauty school classes to her fellow inmates and maintained her beauty queen image. But as she enters her 8th year of a 20-year sentence, she's become increasingly desperate, climbing the prison water tower and making a vest out of her own hair. As the international media continues to cover her story, and fans continue to argue her innocence, regardless of her innocence or guilt, Chappelle reminds us that we must tell our own life stories to others to maintain our true identity. Ganja Queen, a documentary by Janine Hosking. Another day in the land of the dogs. Right, you know, they locked us up in our cells early this afternoon. We're on lockdown. Yeah, you know, like, I shouldn't even be here, and well, you know, it's really hard just to be locked up in your cell for 2 weeks straight, you know, not getting let out of the cage. But, everyone's being really strong for me, right? So, I have to show them that I'm going to be okay, because I love my family, right? And, well, you know, I worked in my family's takeaway shop, fish and chip shop, right? And I was studying, but, you know what? My father got cancer, so my grades slipped a little. Right, and well, you see, my mum and dad, they saved up some money so that I could have holiday before my father's treatment got too bad. Right, so like, you know, like, I'm excited. I'm having a holiday with my younger brother and a few friends. And I mean, I've been to Bali 5 or 6 times since I was 16, but I've been there 4 years. And, well, we woke up at 4 a.m., had our showers, and my friend Allie had borrowed my flippers, right? So she gave them back to me, and I put them in my boogie board bag. And, well, at the airport, we all check in, and the boogie board, it's oversized, right? So I took it up to the oversized counter, and, well, you know, we all get to Indonesia, and people are having their luggage checked, and I think, well, okay, maybe that's the normal thing, you know, because of all the terrorists and whatever. And so the customs officer, he comes over to me and he says, well, whose boogie board bag is it? And I'm going, well, yes, my bag, yay! And I put it up on the counter. And I realized that the zips were in the middle. Well, I always zip to the sides. That was... Well, I opened the bag and there was a surprise, and so I closed it again, and it was just like this instant click, like, oh my God, I've seen this kind of thing in the movies, right? Like this strong smell came out. I mean, look, I was scared. Because I knew that all I put in there were my flippers and my boogie board, right? But there was this this half-opened plastic bag, and well, I mean, I wasn't sure if the customs officer had seen it, but I knew I was going to be in trouble anyhow. Just like, oh my God, I'm going to be in trouble. I just didn't know how much trouble. And the customs officer, he says to me, "It's marijuana." I'm going, well, yeah, I can smell this marijuana, but it's not mine. Right? Like somebody planted it there because this is my bag and this is mine, but this is not mine. It's not my drugs. Because I wouldn't even know where to get the drugs from. I mean, it's like, it's like, how can I prove that I didn't do it when there's no evidence? I mean, it's like this customs officer in a third world country against anyone else. God, it's hard to say that it's actually hit. I'm just trying to adapt as best I can, You have to, because otherwise it's just like, well, I mean, like I couldn't eat for the first 5 days that I was in here. It's like I've got everything, I've got vomiting, I've got diarrhea, I'm tired, no energy. It's like, what's going on? Look, it's just really, really hard not to think like, God, you just think like, who, am I ever going to find out who did this? Because this can happen to anybody, right? It's happened to me, and that's all. I don't know what I've done to deserve it. And I don't want to think about what could be in terms of a future on the outside, I don't want to get my hopes up in case I have to stay here. So I don't want to think about it. I believe that the time I've already spent here in prison is punishment enough for not putting locks on my bag. I shouldn't be here. For like 20 years. Well, I'll be like 50 by the time I get out of here. Never be married, never have children. No, something's got to give, has to help me, right? Something has to. Because I can't stay here. My heart, my family has been painfully burdened by all of these rumors and accusations about me, and I don't know how long I can survive in here. Thank you.